Good morning this Thursday, the 27th of July. I'm Grady Wolf, a market analyst with Bell Direct. Wall Street closed mixed on Wednesday, with the Dow Jones closing higher for a 13th straight session, adding 0.23%, while the Nasdaq and S&P500 ended the day in the red, down 0.02% and 0.12% respectively. Investors digested the Federal Reserve's announcement of a 25 basis point rate hike, taking the US cash rate to 5.25% to 5.5%, the highest level in more than 22 years. Markets slipped in the afternoon trade following the rate hike announcement and comments out of Fed Chair Jerome Powell that another rate hike may be required in September, pending the economic data readings over the coming months. Google parent company Alphabet jumped 5.8% on Wednesday as cloud revenue growth boosted the company to report a better than expected quarter. Aircraft manufacturer Boeing also lifted 8.7% on Wednesday after also reporting a second quarter beat on the back of increased commercial aircraft deliveries. Over in Europe, markets closed lower in the region following the announcement of the Fed's rate hike in the US, in addition to the release of corporate earnings results in the region. The Stoxx 600 fell 0.6% on Wednesday. Germany's DAX lost 0.5%. The French CAC fell 1.35%, and in the UK, the FTSE 100 shed 0.2%. Deutsche Bank shares rose 1.36% on Wednesday after the big bank reported a net profit of €763 million, which beat expectations despite being a 27% decline year on year. It's a big week around the world for central bank rate hike decisions, with the Bank of Japan rate decision out on Friday and the European Central Bank decision announced on Thursday European time. In Australia, the ASX rose 0.85% on Wednesday on the release of Australia's CPI data for Q2, coming in at a quarterly rise of just 0.8% to an annual rate of 6%, which is well below the annual rate at Q1 of 7% and below what economists were expecting of 6.2%. The inflation reading boosted market sentiment as investors see the falling inflation as a sign of rate pauses on the horizon out of the RBA. While 6% is still above the RBA's target range of 2 to 3%, the 1% decline in the annual inflation rate over the quarter is a very strong sign that the RBA's rate hikes are working to cool inflation down under. Materials stocks did most of the heavy lifting on the ASX yesterday, with the sector closing 1.83% higher, again boosted by the iron ore miners on speculation that China is about to announce further policy support to stimulate demand and growth in the region post-pandemic. On the commodities front this morning, oil is trading 1% lower at $78.84 a barrel. Gold is up 0.36% at $1,971 an ounce, and iron ore is up 0.87% at $116.5 a tonne. One Aussie dollar is buying 68 US cents, 94.78 Japanese yen, 52.69 British pence, and 1 New Zealand dollar and 9 cents. Ahead of the local trading session here in Australia, the SPI futures are anticipating the local index to open just 0.01% lower following the Fed's interest rate decision overnight, causing global markets to sell off. And now let's dive into some trading ideas for your consideration today. Bell Potter has increased the 12-month price target on Catapult Group from $1.20 to $1.35 per share, and maintain a buy rating on the leading global provider of elite athlete wearable tracking technology and software provider following the release of the company's first quarter update. Over the quarter, Catapult reported revenue growth over 20%, annual contract value rose over 20% year on year on a constant currency basis, and the company hopes to achieve free cash flow positivity in FY24. And Bell Potter has slightly decreased the 12-month price target on Develop Global from $3.90 to $3.80, and maintain a buy rating on the hybrid model mining company following an update including Develop withdrawing from the Kathleen Valley underground mining contract tender process due to an expanded scope on the contract, while also noting the forthcoming restart of the Woodlawn operations coinciding with peak revenue generation from the Bellevue mining contract, underpinning a significant ramp up in earnings and future cash flow generation. And that's all we have time for this morning. Have a terrific Thursday, and as always, happy investing.